and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. Today, we are joined by the one and only, the world champion, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for Sam LaRue, a.k.a. Octane. We got Christopher Duarte, another world champion, one of the best analysis in the business. Give it up for Christopher Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite. And, of course, we got the executive producer, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Today, we're doing things a little bit differently. We're running an emergency flank today. Some news hit the fan. So, obviously, Pat, he's got X-Defiant. He's been working over there at Ubisoft, so he's not going to be able to make it today. We're doing the show too early for Pat during the week today, unfortunately. But we wanted to get one up quick for you guys with all the news, and obviously with the league starting tomorrow, we'll be able to give our thoughts on some of the matches and stuff like that. But, yeah, guys, it's just us for today. How you guys all doing, man? Sam, you doing all right? Let's start with you.
And grinding Warzone. Absolutely grinding it.
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel about Warzone? You liking it, Sam, or what?
Yeah, it's been fun. I think it's definitely better than Warzone 2 that I played for like an hour total.
Wait, Sam echoing? Do you hear two Sams? You guys hear two Sams?
I might not be muted in the Ninja.
Were you unmuted in Ninja? That's why.
I might have been unmuted in the Ninja.
There you go. You're good.
Yeah,
now.
I think he's good.
Are we back?
You're good. What were you saying, Sam?
Yeah.
You're playing Warzone?
Warzone's lit. That's all I got.
Well, Warzone is fun.
Lit.
They shrunk the map, it feels like the map is smaller.
Yeah, the circle closes faster, the map's smaller, and there's less players. But the pace of it is like, I like. There's very few or not a lot of downtime like actually in the game. So I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, well, Chris, what you been up to, bro? You been playing any Warzone, or you been strictly multiplayer these days?
I played a little bit of Warzone yesterday. Had a little 8-hour stream, but yeah, for the most part, still playing BPL Challengers. Outside of that, continue the workout today. Actually, you said we got some news, and we were doing the what is it called? The emergency flank. So I actually just hit a rage workout. I literally did everything in an hour, showered, everything. I was sweating balls. But yeah, it was a fun one.
That's good, man. That's cool that you're on like a little workout grind right now. You just like, you're really staying consistent with that. That's fire, bro. Let's W's in the chat for Chris. And then of course we got the one and only, the executive producer, Mr. Benjay Nassim. Ben, how you doing, bro? You doing all right? I seen you been grinding some 8s and shit. You've been hopping into some wagers and stuff like that. How you been doing, bro?
Sam and I were playing Warzone yesterday. That was interesting.
Yeah,
that's the word for it.
We only got one win yesterday, but we were learning Warzone. It's all good. We were just chasing red dots most of the time.
Yeah, I was there with you, Ben. I got the win with you, bro. You forgot.
We got a win.
Sam, this guy already forgot.
No, because listen, the only time we got the win was when you IGL'd that one map.
Yep, I IGL'd. I took over. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to take over the IGL here. I'm going to have to get this W. Honestly, Warzone's very simple, bro. If you just stay ahead of zone and just don't get caught in gas or get caught in rotations, you're fine. Like, you just post up.
Yeah, 100%.
Just wait for people. It's pretty easy. But, guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I don't think it's going to be a long episode, but on this emergency flank, we got some things that we have to address. First and foremost, I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and get right to it. Some leaks came out. I don't think we've seen any official announcements on the platform from the COD League themselves. Oh, we have?
I really sent you the blog post.
Oh, okay, you sent it to me. You can drop it in my chat if you can, Ben. Send me the blog post.
I put it in DM. I'll put it back in the chat right
yeah, put it in my chat if you don't mind. But yeah, officially, the Call of Duty League is officially going over to YouTube. We're going back to YouTube. We saw how much success the league had when we were on Twitch and all the multi-streams and the co-streams and kind of all that stuff. I'm sure a lot of people, some people like YouTube, some people don't. You can see all the L's. You can see the tomatoes being thrown in the chat. A lot of people are just really upset about this one, especially after all the success we recently just had with viewership. First and foremost, I'll give my thoughts on it from a creator who does this every day. I've been building the community over here on Twitch every single day. Every live stream has lived here on Twitch. It's sad, bro. Like, I would have loved to be doing everything on Twitch, doing the live stream and the watch party, everything from here. I was upset about it just because, we've been building this for a while now, a few years. So it just kind of sucks that things are changing and they're going to YouTube. I feel like the discoverability on YouTube is not the same. I feel like it's harder to find streams on there. And it's kind of harder to follow along. I know they have different features like the rewind and the 4K, which is a positive. But I guess the solution for me is just we're going to be live on both. I'll be live on both platforms. I'll be live on Twitch. I'll be live on YouTube. Just on Twitch during the watch parties, I won't be able to show gameplay. So it'll just be full webcam. We're going to try and get some other stuff on there for you guys, like maybe some stats. We're trying to work to make that stream better as well. But YouTube's also a good platform as well to live stream on. Like, we'll be live over there. I'll be live streaming. We'll be doing all the watch parties there. And then as soon as the matches are over, the YouTube stream will end. The show will be on Twitch like normal, and then the show will be uploaded to YouTube. So we'll be using both platforms a lot this year, but kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Obviously, it sucks, but we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to have a good year. But I'd say we start with you, Sam, because I know you've been pretty frustrated about it. What do you think about the switch? Because I know you just retired. You were going to do a lot of stuff on Twitch. You probably had a lot planned, and a lot of things just changed.
Yeah, kind of sucks. I think you and I found out pretty similarly like a couple days ago. Yeah, it's fucking ass for for the lack of a better term. I think that it's a short-term solution for a long-term problem. I think that it's kind of, if you ask anyone that's with league ops or involved in the actual decision making, I'm sure that they'll fight their battle, but I'm gonna fight mine. I think that alienating the fans and going back and forth, especially from a creator standpoint, is just the worst case scenario. I'm not sure on the numbers of the deal. If they're high enough to warrant the decision, then that's a different story. I don't think that they are, most likely. But I think that they are trying to fix, again, a long-term problem with a short-term solution. And the number one problem that I think I have with the change is that they probably, well, not probably, most certainly used the numbers that came from Twitch, mostly being the actual stream itself, and then your stream and Seth's stream, to then sell the deal to YouTube, to then just go be exclusive on YouTube. That rubs me the wrong way. And then on top of that, I mean, this is like, I can't get fine anymore, so fuck it, bro. Why would YouTube want that? Like, why would YouTube want exclusivity with the CDL? It does, like,
why one day?
What's the upside?
All the viewers are on YouTube and not.
I think
like
paying
100?
I think paying for the product in its current state is again, if it is a sizable amount of money for them to take the deal, is insane to me.
You know, Alphabet, like their parent company, like this.
I think that's insane to me.
Whatever this deal is a drop in the bucket of the cash reserves they have on hand. If you're a company like YouTube, again, I personally am pro. We should be on Twitch. I just want to be clear.
I think I think we should be everywhere. I don't think we should be on Twitch. I think it should be anywhere that it needs to be.
Everywhere.
I agree.
But just from YouTube's perspective, like, you know, if they're throwing some kind of like 8-figure money at this, like, it's worth the like upside if it actually like blows up.
I think with the outlook of not only Call of Duty but esports in general, is specifically with the CDL, the way that we have been talking about it in previous months, the amount of change that has happened over the previous months from last season to this season, I think YouTube spending an 8-figure deal in the league's current state is like, I don't understand it. Again, it's a short-term fix for a long-term issue, and I think that no amount of money, again, it has to be like upper 8, like low 9 figures, which is just not the world that we live in anymore for this kind of deal. I think that attempting to have the like longevity of non-exclusivity is a much better play moving down the line than just like, here's this quick bag, let's just like fucking duct tape this huge problem and we'll readdress it in 3 years if the league is still alive.
I don't think it's gonna duct tape all the problems. We'll get to at the end of this. Just to be clear, Sam, I just looked it up. Google's parent company, Alphabet, which, you know, is still Google, is just how it's structured. Their cash on hand as of like 2 months ago was $120 billion. So I think whatever the 8-figure amount of money is just that's literally a rounding error at that point, Sam. And
I don't understand. I'm just saying, I genuinely don't.
Listen, so
people with a lot of money, Sam, that's 9-10 figures, they don't even see it, bro. They don't even.
I mean, selfishly, it's just insane to me.
So here's the deal. So let's try to explain why this potentially happened. And again, I want to be clear that I'm on Sam's side. I think we should be platform agnostic. That's
streaming on a fucking kick.
So I think at the end of the day, you know, when you look at Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft's current esports landscape, it's very much shifting. This is potentially a transition year on the Overwatch side. You've seen now the Overwatch League will no longer cease to exist in its current form. I move to an open model. I don't know what's going to happen with the CDL. We'll get to that probably at the end of this conversation. So I assume from a budget perspective, it's not like the executives are handing down Activision Blizzard esports oodles of cash to play with this year. And I assume there was a conversation of, hey guys, you know, we have this conversation with YouTube. They're offering money. The execs are saying the league, we probably need to take this. Otherwise, y'all are going to have significant budget cuts next season because we're not going to sit there and write a massive check like we've done in past years. And this makes for a lose-lose situation. There's no way either end that it works out. Either you don't take the deal and they've got to massively cut the number of events, which they've already done regardless teams taking the deal, but they would have to cut it further, cut more staff. And if they take the deal, then we talk about the lack of growth and engagement, because last year with the watch parties, that was our most watched year of Call of Duty. And this year is not going to be that. So it sucks for the community, man. Nobody in this situation other than YouTube wins with this deal.
Yeah,
I truly believe that.
and I see a lot of people in the chat. They're just like, YouTube's good, and what are you guys talking about? This and that. But I don't disagree.
There's
with
pros
that.
and cons to
Yeah,
every
like
platform.
YouTube's a great platform, bro. Like, especially when we upload all our videos to YouTube, like live streaming on there. You can live stream in 4K, you get a rewind feature. Like, it is a great platform. It's just not good in terms of growing the esport, right? Because like
Culturally, Twitch is better. Logistically, YouTube is better.
But I
Yeah,
want
like, they
to
have their positives and negatives.
Step even farther out. It's not good at building a multi-stream massive community that's not like people reacting to other people's pre-recorded videos. As far as live stream discoverability and the community aspect, the channel surfing that makes the Twitch platform so good, that just doesn't exist on YouTube. They've never been able to solve that problem, and that's why it's never it's never really like squeezed that much into the Twitch ecosystem. Do you feel that that's a fair like characterization of the issue with the platform?
100%. One thing I wanted to touch on though is what Sam was saying, how it doesn't really make sense on the YouTube side. Listen, regardless of how much YouTube is throwing at this or how much money YouTube has as a company or Google or whatever, if the teams are not down for this, to my understanding, everything that we've seen in the offseason, all the leaks, all the people that talked about the potential YouTube deal, it doesn't seem like the actual league teams wanted this. I could be wrong, but that's what it seemed like.
some of them did, some of them didn't.
Some of them definitely did. I'll tell you that.
Okay, well, most of them probably didn't, because that's what the sentiment looks like. I could be wrong.
I don't think you're ever going to get an honest count of who's pro or against, and it may surprise you how many teams may have wanted the deal.
Sure, but from what people have been saying on like social media, it seems like most people didn't want it at all, and that just like doesn't make sense as to why they like would swap over. And even if they're getting money, like Pat I think just said it in the chat, this pretty much cements the fact that like this is a band-aid solution, like I said, like Tom said, to an overall problem, and this is probably going to be the last year, or maybe the second to last year that we see the CDL, like, period. And we'll probably get the OWL situation.
Well, that's what Pat said in the chat. He said, here to say one thing. Shout out to Pat for being in here. He said, to me, this deal guarantees the CDL ends after this season. Teams will get franchise buyouts just like OWL. This deal cements it. That's what he said. 1 year left of the CDL. You guys agree with that? Chris, I know you just said it, so you agree with it. You think this is it for the CDL after this year? You think it's just going to be gone?
Yeah, I think there's potential, but I also I don't think they ever made the details of the YouTube deal previously public. I think it kind of just like came out through the course of time, but I'm very curious on not only the amount but the time frame of the deal as well. Because if it's just like a 1 year thing, then like of course Pat's correct. Like they're just taking the money to like basically buy the teams out. Like they're just using the deal from the money from YouTube to like hand to the franchises to buy the fuck out of the league. But if it's a multi-year deal, then
if somebody sees like a real Activision Blizzard investor like PR release on it, I'd love to see it.
Pat just said that. Pat just said it's a 1 year deal. I don't know where he's getting his information
if it's a 1 year deal,
or
then
he's
Pat
wrong.
is absolutely correct.
100%. And also, like, going back to what you said, Ben, you said that they would have significant budget cuts and all that stuff like that. I mean, this whole offseason, all we saw was people getting basically cut from the CDL.
I'm saying potentially it could have been.
It could have been worse, is what you're saying.
It could have been worse because
I get
where they're at as an esport right now, or the esports division is at relative to the
Fwiz just posted a link, or not Fwiz, sorry, Pat just posted a link in Twitter if you want to pull that up. But what I'm saying is, like, there's already insane budget cuts, a lot of teams getting cut, or a lot of teams cutting people, CDL cutting costs, Challengers hasn't even been announced, and that's expected to have even less events. Like, everything is pointing to them just downsizing and downsizing and downsizing to the point where why would Activision even waste their time doing this? And it's pointing to it being dissolved in the near future.
Okay, so just to see what Fwiz is saying here, is it a 1 year deal? So Fwiz said licensing rights are such an important part of the monetization model for the league, and Twitch has leverage. Point of your tweet, they don't need to offer. Then on Twitch, you're stuck just monetizing W ads and sponsorships, which means you can't even support the league.
Which is facts.
Jake Lucky responded, he said, I think everyone would be a bit more forgiving if they truly believed the league would be around long term to begin with. Fwiz then responded, he said, yeah, I think that's fair. I don't like a 1 year deal, and I don't like not rolling out a long term vision, both for the broadcast/league and for how the platform supports the league. So is he hinting towards it being a 1-year deal?
I don't think so. The way that reads, I don't think he is suggesting that. I think he's saying
Okay.
that if I'm reading this correctly, I'm saying if we were YouTube,
Mhm.
signing a 1-year deal doesn't really do it for them.
Right.
From reading it, it seems like he's hinting towards it,
That's
Tom.
yeah. They didn't mention none of Jake Lucky's tweets mentioned a 1-year deal, and then
Yeah.
Ryan just randomly brought it up.
He also says that he doesn't like it for the simple fact that just based on like how they like envision the partnership, they basically don't believe that the league will be around long enough for them to justify having longer than a 1-year deal. Because, like you guys said, right? If the viewership is going to dwindle from last year to this year on that platform, why would they sign a deal from the viewership from the prior like year for multiple years if it's probably going to be less this year,
Oh,
right?
I want to speak to this point. Is I actually, and maybe we don't talk about it enough on the show, is you would be surprised to know that viewership in that much of a shift between what we had, say, in Vanguard and last year isn't going to move the needle as much on sponsor partnerships as would market conditions, which in general was really bad for advertising and sponsorships this year, aka like the writer's strike, SAG-AFTRA strike, like shit like that. Is going to affect that a lot more than say 50,000 viewers more watching. Now, if it was 100,000 more viewers, 250,000 more viewers, 500,000, then it's a different conversation. But the delta between Twitch and YouTube, I don't think is actually going to move that much of a needle on new partners coming in.
But how
That's
does
kind
this
of sad facts.
But how does this partnership even work for YouTube in terms of them making any sort of revenue back? Because right, if they're signing a deal where they're giving over the CDL this much money, obviously they're going to expect something in return. They're going to expect the viewership numbers to be high, to more people interacting with the platform and the live streaming service, and obviously that's going to transition to more like ad revenue and stuff like that. So like that's what they're getting from it, to my understanding, right? They're not getting like.
Are you saying what would YouTube get from this?
Yes, exactly. Like, how do they benefit from this if the viewership is lower, and how does that not move the needle enough for them to justify a better deal? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's because for YouTube, it's not ad money. It's getting people to spend more time on the platform, and when they're watching CDL and then that ends, they go watch another video or they click. You know what I mean? It's a discoverability play. It's getting new eyeballs and getting people to stay on the platform longer. Which for a business that already makes money, they're just trying to make more money. That's why they're willing to throw a low 8-figure number, because it's not about making the money back in ad revenue. It's about keeping people on the platform.
That's viewership numbers.
Yeah, but not in the traditional sense that you're thinking of. It's not like
Okay.
peak. They're not thinking about it in peak viewership numbers. They're thinking about which is great. Obviously, if you hit those, great. It's more about like keeping people on the platform for longer and checking out other content on the platform and
All right.
following the algorithm wherever it takes you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, right, nothing we say is going to change anything. Like
Oh, no,
decisions
this shit's
are
done.
made. This is done.
I'll see you on YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be out live on YouTube. We'll be live on Twitch. We'll be.
Thanks for the new
utilizing
member,
both
bro. Appreciate it.
platforms. We'll be. I've never even streamed on YouTube before, but we'll see how it goes. I am excited to try another platform, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes and how all that plays out. But yeah, guys, everything will be on the ZooMaa Live channel. So if you guys are interested in the watch parties, youtube.com/@ZooMaa Live, not just ZooMaa Live, youtube.com/@ZooMaa Live. Sam, Ben, Chris, I don't know if you guys will be live. You guys want to shout out your?
I will try to be.
Yeah, Sam will try to be.
Listen, you know me, you know my gimmick. Like my thing is, I'm in the mornings here.
You'll be on
Coffee
Twitch in
and
the mornings.
COD. Twitch in the mornings will be, watching back VOD,
Yeah.
talking all stuff pregame, whether it's,
Yep.
fantasy, prize picks. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll be live on both. I'll be tweeting it and putting it on my
Are you just gonna
Instagram
end
story.
and do the flank like right after? Like you're just
Yeah.
only going live on YouTube for the watch party?
Yeah, YouTube is watch party only just because I have to, right? And then we're keeping everything the same just so there's not as much change. Like when the matches are over, the show will be live on Twitch.
Yeah.
YouTube stream will go off. Vals is gonna get all the matches uploaded for you guys to watch on YouTube. Everything will live on ZooMaa Live. And then everything, only thing that we have on the main channel are flank episodes. That's just how we've always done it. The main channel, the ZooMaa main, that's all flanks. Everything else, the live streams, the matches, everything will be on ZooMaa Live. So youtube.com/@ZooMaa Live. I'm going to be talking to Vals. We got everything set up on there as well. So I'll see you guys over there, or maybe I'll see you guys in here because I'll be live on Twitch as well. But Let's move on.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah,
This is
no
very
problem. Go
important.
ahead,
One
Ben.
thing, because we're gonna we mentioned this on a couple of shows, and I want to keep this. I want to put this out there so people are thinking about it throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
As we see now that the CDL is likely going to change significantly after the season, I think you're going to start hearing about, the threat of what's going on with ESL Face It and the money behind that organization getting involved because they are the parent company of Esports Engine, who is the production team as far as the broadcast and production goes for the league. I can see there being a lot more conversations about how their equity might get involved in the situation in the league. So make sure you pay attention to that in the coming months.
Yep. Let's move on. Let's talk about talent. This is we got a little announcement here from the COD League today. Got a new face in there. Well, not a new face. We all know him, but finally getting his opportunity to get in there with the CDL on a pro stage. It's I Hold Shift. We know Shift has been doing
Challengers
so much
extraordinaire.
stuff. Yeah, he's
W.
just like, bro, that is just a W.
Nah, this is
all
a long
around.
time coming. Shout out to Shifted. Long
Seriously,
time coming.
He has been just the energy and the passion behind challengers these last couple of years, these last few years, and you could just every day he was live, just doing whatever he could for the community. And bro, he's also just a very great caster. He's a great. He knows COD. He's been watching it for a really long time. So really happy to see I Hold Shift there. I feel like this is a long time coming, and he deserves this more than anybody else. So huge shout out to Shift. And then we have some other duos. We have Merc and Maven coming back.
Full time.
Shift will be partnered up with Study. We got Miles and Chance coming back as well. You guys all know Miles and Chance. A bunch of legends. And then the desk is going to be Chris Puckett, Ali, and Nameless. So we got pretty much the same desks this year around. Same exact desk, which I know you guys love the desk. So what do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about the talent, the desk, everything, man? It sucks, though, that some people did lose their spots in the process. A lot with the budget cuts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first here. Obviously, I like the desk staying together. We've had like a different host so many years ago on COD. I'm glad there's some continuity there with the desk. I think they were developing like really good kind of fun personality with each other. I like the Ali and Ant have their own biases sometimes, and they play into it, and it's pretty funny and how that goes. I think their breakdowns are pretty good. And as far as the cast and crews go, I love Bryson ton. Having worked with them professionally, I think people may not know how passionate those guys are, and a lot of what you like of the product are some of the ideas they brought in when they were first added. So they're a huge miss, and from my understanding, it's budget reasons, and it really sucks. I'm excited though, to see. It looks like Clinton and Joe are coming in full time again, so that's cool. I'm excited to watch those two get absolutely checked by a terminal hardpoint this year and break down mid-series, which is always really funny. You ever watch them cast historically? Well, I know Pat's in the chat. Joe and Clinton used to break down watching Pat's team play CTF back in the day, so we'll see how that goes. And then I really like the J. I like the J and Shift combo. In a weird way, I actually think that duo might work. And I know that Shift put out a video. He talked about some fun things he might want to do. And I think he might be able to get sort of, because I'm used to team with Study. There's this personality side of Study I don't think comes out a lot when he casts. Mm-hmm. That if Shift can kind of tap into that like very energetic personality he has, I think it could be a really good duo.
Yeah, Jay's a great dude. Jay knows the game too. I won my first event with Jay, with Study. So a lot of good memories there. But Chris, what do you think about the talent, man? You like the talent?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Shift on there. It's a long time coming for him. You briefly spoke on it, but that guy is super talented, super passionate. He knows a lot about the scene, and he's not just only involved in the pro scene. He understands the challenger stuff a lot. So he's going to be able to give you some insight, especially to some of those rookies that are coming in, because I think we have a lot of them this year. As for the rest of the desk, I'm glad to see Maven and Merc pretty much return full time. I think they were only at events last year and not during the regular broadcast.
Yeah.
But those guys are always amazing caster duo. Miles, Chance can say anything better about those guys, but also Allie's improved a lot over the years. I know some of the people in chat are giving her flack, but she's been doing her thing, and she's gotten a lot better over the years in terms of the analyst desk. So it's an amazing lineup of talent.
Yep, I'm hyped for the desk. I'm just hyped that we're just getting to the start of the league now, bro. We got matches coming up tomorrow. We'll give our predictions and talk about some of the teams.
Oh, we actually get through predictions today. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
We're gonna do predictions, and we're gonna talk about some of these matches. But I want to talk about the season 1 update, because we did get a new map. Well, we got a couple new maps. One of them is called Meat, which I have played, and I'm going to be honest, too small. It's just not going to be playable. It's just way too small. You can run across from one side of the map to the other in about 4 seconds. So Guys, I see everybody coming in here with the Atlanta phase intro. We're gonna watch all
We're
the
gonna
intros.
get there,
We're
guys.
gonna
We
get
know
there,
we're gonna
guys.
get there.
Well, one thing at a time, guys.
Y'all are impatient, bro.
They're impatient, man. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there, man. I see you guys in
Oh,
here.
let's talk about potential grinds on me. It doesn't seem like it's gonna make it in the CDL, so we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, Meat's not gonna
Good
make it
Meat.
into the CDL. I just think
Good
it's too
joke, right?
small. I mean,
Farewell, Meat.
There's no way. But Grease, on the other hand, I am going to start it off hot. This might be a hot take. I don't know if you guys have played it. I think it is a phenomenal map, and I think it's a lot better than some of the maps we currently have, personally. I think playing Hardpoint on it, I thought the spawns played well. I thought everything made sense. There was a back spawn on every single hill. If you pinch hills out, people were spawning out. I even kind of liked some of it. Like, the hills weren't like 2x2 squares. Like, the hills were actually good hills. If you actually play the map, they actually played out pretty well. I think looking at it like this, where you see how the hills are laid out, it's kind of weird. It's like, what the hell? They didn't utilize like the top of the map or even maybe the bottom. But when you play it, it actually plays out pretty well. I kind of enjoyed it. Not
It's
sure
like
if
5 middle hills.
it looks like
crazy.
5 middle hills, but the way that it plays, like, they're not really close. Like, it goes like 1 and then 2 and then the 3
There's a
goes
lot
to
of
on the
weird
other
side
side and the 4
alleyways
goes to the
to
other
get there.
side and 5 goes to
Yeah.
the other. Like, they kind of, it doesn't, the only hill that really goes like next to each other is probably P1 to P2 and then P5 back to P1, which
So
is
can
like
I
the
poke-
closest ones. But
Can I try and poke 2 holes in this map, and I want you to respond and kind of debate with me
yeah,
if you don't
it's
mind?
not
Just indulge
perfect.
me?
Yeah, I will. Let me just say this: it's not a perfect
Yeah.
map. There's some tweaks that they can make to make it better. But I was enjoying playing the map. I was having a good time
So-
playing it.
Careful, Ben's about to snap.
So 2 things
Here
on
he
the map.
goes.
And again, I don't know, again, if these are deal breakers or not, but I saw Crowder talking about it, and these are the 2 things that he's highlighted. So I want to debate it with you. One is, what are your thoughts? So if you were to put some gameplay on, you would notice that the lanes on this map kind of zigzag and cut back and forth. So you have a lot of these weird kind of off corners that people can play. Do you think that would be an issue on rotation, or people just playing like weird off angles and some of these kind of like mazy lanes that are path to some of the hills?
I mean, it's a knowledge gap, right? I mean, when you play the map initially, you're like, okay, didn't know that was there, didn't know this lane was there, didn't know that corner was there. But as you play the map, I mean, we played it a couple of times yesterday. There was really no point where I was like, yo, this is hectic or this is crazy or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I actually thought it played out pretty well. Like, yeah, there's gonna be corners and lanes and crevices and shit like that, but I mean, it's all knowledge at the end of the day. Once the pros learn the map, I mean, that's on them to just clear out spots that they should know about. You know what I mean? I don't know if you, Sam or Chris, you guys agree with me on that.
I have not touched that map at all.
I agree with you in that aspect, but I haven't played enough. I did spawn into it a little bit and just kind of like take a look around, and it just, again, like what Ben was saying, it just looks like there's a lot of just like interchanging through lanes, and that could create a problem where I feel like it's just going to be like inconsistent, and it could get hectic once people figure out the map and can play up to that speed. But just aesthetically, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty map.
It looks good. It's very colorful. But maybe Tom, you might be onto something. I might try to see if the challengers are up to
3-sub
play
map?
it in 8s.
Or it's like
It's like a 2-2, bro. Honestly, it's like a 2-2.
Yeah, it definitely could be a 2-2, but like Tom or Ben was saying, the lanes and stuff like that and the angles, like I think the rivals are really probably going to be really good on this map, which is probably good because right now I think we struggle with map design and the usability of submachine guns in certain places. So could be an interesting
I
map.
don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think it's as like crazy as you guys are making it out to be. Like for instance, I don't think this map is like Favela, where there's just like buildings everywhere and corners and different levels and this and that. It's pretty straightforward, bro. Like, there's not a lot of levels to it. Like, everything is pretty much on the ground. The water could be weird with some of the pros because people might take some fucking routes, but
We played Hydro. It's fun.
yeah, it's like this is a Seaside Hydro baby. Like, if you
Yeah.
put Seaside and
Okay.
Hydro together, this is what this map is. Like,
The nice part is there's no like lanes that you can take from the water like towards the middle of the map to cut
where I
across.
was
It's
going
just
next.
basically
Yeah.
one like lane
Right.
on each side. So in terms of like watching it for any of that sort of like sneaky cheese, it's probably kind of like Hacienda on that outer statue hill where it's probably not that big of a deal. And also
Yeah.
water
Right.
visibility in this game is a lot better.
That's where I was going, which is the next thing is so if you notice, if you guys are watching the video version, or if you're watching audio, on the left and right, like the east and west sides of the map or water, but it doesn't like cross in between lanes. You have these weird underground things like you have with Hydro.
yeah.
That was the next thing is like for the 2 hills that are fairly water exposed, is the water an issue? Personally, I don't think so, because to Chris's point, the visibility in the water is much better than last year. And if you're just going to try and, like be a shark in there, I think you're just gonna get gun crossing anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna
I
try
don't see it's a
mantling
huge
up or
issue.
trying to make a play, like pros are gonna read it. Like eventually, pros are
Yeah.
gonna be able to sniff you out and read it. I mean, listen, it's really hard to look at a mini map and just tell if it's good or bad. The honest truth is you just have to play the map and see for yourself if it's good or bad. And after playing it yesterday, I got a few reps on it. I really enjoyed it, bro. I thought it was a good map, and people weren't spawning on top of each other. Like there was actually a back spawn on the hills, and people were spawning out if you were pinching shit out. Like the spawns just made sense on it. Like you knew where people were coming from, even though it was a new map, which to me was a big positive. Now I want to move on. Apparently there was a spawn update. Chris, this is kind of where I wanted to bring you in. Did spawns change in the game? Because I'm confused on this.
Yeah, I think some hills got worse and some got better. One specifically in mind is let me just give you a general breakdown. Is they basically push the spawns out a lot further, and there's a lot more stickier spawns that come in, but that also runs into some issues. For example, on that rotation from P4 to P5, the Castle Hill on Invasion, there's now like a spawn in Ice Cream where even if you like have control of that fortress and you're all along that wall, they can potentially still spawn on that ice cream on you. So flipping them out on that rotation becomes kind of more difficult in some aspects. Personally, though, I do like the fact that they change the spawns and push them out more, but I still think they need to do more. Now they need to swap out certain hills because right now some of the hills are still just in bad spots where the guy in the hill is essentially in a power spot where he can basically help everyone. One hill that they made better in one aspect, but 10 times worse in another is sub base hardpoint P3. We all know that submarine hill. Nobody ever got on it. Nobody ever touched it. Now one spawn is in towards, I think it's,
you spawn deeper, right?
You spawn deep or in the back, and one team spawns all the way on, I think it's the,
behind tunnel, like all
the way behind
tunnel,
the
right?
tunnel. Yeah. And you run into this issue where you're
Like the
basically
ramp
not
of P5,
breaking,
like through the building.
Yeah, like in back there, like literally back there, Sam.
Yes.
Oh,
all
Jesus.
the way in the back. And so you basically don't have a chance of breaking the hill whatsoever. I ran into a situation in 8s where I spawned back there and I was just running up towards the middle of the map, and there was a guy top server, which is like the building right around P1. There should be no reason that a guy is top server and I'm spawning back P5 and they're spawning basically on the hill. Like you have zero chance of breaking. You essentially have to fight like 3 waves. It's
it went from
basically
0
impossible.
seconds to a 60
it went to
hill.
a hill that nobody can get time on to now it's
Okay.
just like insane.
It's probably worse than Fortress Hill. Like in terms of like
P3?
your ability. Yeah, the P3 on subbase is probably worse than P5 of an invasion now in terms of like being able to break. You're not breaking it.
Yeah.
If you don't break it on your first attempt right away after the hill transitions.
And also on terminal, they you know the SD
That's all
headies?
plane spawn, right?
Well,
on
I
the
don't know
P1?
about the spawns, but they changed the map a little bit. The terminal Eskies
the
head
glass,
glitch, the planners
windows.
is way easier to see now. Like it's harder for people to head glitch that without being seen. Like you can see way clearer now. I thought that was a fire update. That was a W. I like how they changed it.
Tej's tweet too on P1 terminal. He spawned bottom plane,
Oh, there's
like in the
P1
corner
terminal
of the map.
Wait, like
There's-
the back left corner of the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is this weird like spawn cooldown thing that is going on now, where somebody's getting an off spawn where the rest of his team isn't. Basically, to put this in a situation that you guys can picture in your head, it's P1. The enemy team is basically just contesting the hill. You know, they're playing around burger, back security, etc. There's no one influencing bottom escalator spawn. The team that is attacking that hill from the escalator side, all 3 of them spawned escalators, and then randomly Tej spawns bottom plane all the way in the back right corner of the minimap, completely away from his team, and it just made zero fucking sense. And I think that's like a spawn cooldown thing where like, oh, too many people spawn here, we're gonna put you somewhere else for no
It's
reason.
like when you four down a team and they spawn everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the issues that I've seen with the newer spawns have been on terminal. I saw one clip. Asim literally poked me before we went live on the show on Invasion with that ice cream spawn you're talking about, Chris. But all the clips, all the screenshots, all of the gripes that I've seen from challengers and the CDL players have all been on terminal. So I don't know if the map got worse.
Okay,
That would be the first map to go.
So this is TJ Haley's tweet. So take a look at this. So he's got his whole team here sitting in the P1 hardpoint. They're
Literally the
coming up
whole
from-
team.
they're
Literally
the whole team. They're
There you
coming
go.
up from Eski. One person dies, And now you can see where he spawns. All the way back by low plane over here, under plane, which is
Go
Well,
next.
I
Sets you
don't
up for a
understand
rotation.
this.
Sets you up for P2, bro.
fucking terrible.
Kinda, it sets you up for rotation. You still got to go up the fucking stairs.
too,
and
bro.
Hopefully, no one's sitting there on the fucking check-in desk gunning you when you have no head glitch. Like, I mean, I agree with Chris. I think unfortunately for Terminal, unless they really juggle these hills, like security side is still super OP. A bunch of the money hills are on this map, and
This
like,
They
map's a
didn't move
rotation
them.
problem. This
It-
map just
it-
has a rotation problem
I just
or
think,
a
I
hill
think this map might need
location
to
issue.
go. Now, for context, for people who haven't been watching streams maybe this week, when pros have talked about this, they're going to play on the old patch for this week and for next week. So if any maps are coming in and out, well, that may not happen until stage 1, but any of the new patch stuff isn't going to happen until matches are played after the new year. So challengers have to deal with this shit. The pros will be playing on the old patch.
Yeah.
I think
For
the main problem now
For
is
now,
going
yeah.
to be moving the hills. I still think that the hills are
agreed.
just in bad spots. Outside of that, the spawn changes for the most part are all pretty good. Outside of Terminal, I think that's probably going to be the first map to go. Whenever we do get a map replacement in for Hardpoint, we already said Hardpoint was the biggest issue. And then also they changed I think Sam suggested this, but offensive and
sub-base
defensive
control.
control. Yeah, that you can touch on this, Sam, since this
So
is your idea.
when we went through the beginning of the game, because there was a map pool issue with control, everyone's playing Karachi, everyone's playing Invasion, and the players just kind of defaulted to high rise. They just said, fuck it, it's the most bearable third map that we can play. And I'm not going to credit myself for this idea. I think it legitimately might have been a like fuck up on the dev side for like coding or something. But sub-base control actually looked playable. The points were good. The spawns were good on offense and defense, but they were completely flipped. So defense, you would spawn through the tunnel on the docks in the back of the map, and offense, you would spawn where like P2 is, for example, or like the P3 like side of the map, and you would just walk onto the point and you would cap them. But since they actually flipped them and now offense spawns through a tunnel, I think the map could be viable. I don't know if the pros are going to be willing to play test it or not. It looks better than high rise does because high rise control just seems shit for spawn trapping and
What map
getting
is
out of your
this
base.
in? What map is this?
Sub-base.
Oh, sub-base.
But it seems at least play testable at the bare minimum. Will they actually do it? That's a whole different conversation.
Well,
but
you guys haven't mentioned Karachi yet, so a tweet just came in from Eric Boom. Take a look at this.
is this Karachi hardpoint spawns?
Karachi hardpoint new spawns. Let's tune in and see what Eric Boom tweeted. So you can see Eric. He's coming through chicken right now. Coming through chicken coop. He's gonna shoot Donnie in the back. Somebody spawns behind him, kills him. But where does Eric spawn? One guy spawns chicken coop. The other guy, Eric spawns right behind him in the same spot. They both spawn on top of each other. One in chicken coop, one top bridge. That's
This is
not
the
good.
this was one of the only hills on this map that didn't have a spawn problem.
Let's tune in real quick.
there was like one bad one. There was one bad
Before
spot
you
on this
guys
hill,
say
I think.
anything, let's tune in. It's 19 seconds. I'm going to play the
Okay.
audio. I want to see what he said during this moment.
Okay,
Bro,
okay.
absolute on time. Nice. And this one. That's funny. Yo, underpass.
We have your
Underpass
soda.
early
We have your
shit on.
soda.
I might
Let's
mock
play
it.
tower.
Dead. I'm absolutely hold.
Yo, behind me, bus stop, bro. Bus stop, CJ.
One shot.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that is insane, bro. That is actually crazy. That is nuts. Am I the only one who's a little bit worried that they might have made the spawns worse?
Oh man.
In some aspects, yes. I might
yeah.
Because,
guess
bro,
that. I
some
don't
of the
want to-
spawns
It's a
weren't even
given.
like bad.
I mean,
Like
we
some
probably
of
have the
them were
same answer, Chris.
actually
I think
pretty
it's just a give
good.
and take.
This hill didn't have too many issues,
Yeah.
but again, I think this is probably just the most unfortunate like sequence of events because I don't know if Eric spawned Coop, but in general, like if you look at the mini map, what you're looking at Eric's screen, look at the top side of the mini map. There's two other parallel spawns there, and they're just blocking each other by staying alive on each side. So they're probably also messing with Eric and the other opposing team spawns. I'm not defending it. I don't think it's a good. It's good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you can
there's a lot of
always
chaos
find-
happening on the
yeah,
map.
You can always find ways as to why that happened, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you got to try and be one with the shit. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, to be honest, like we know that just shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean?
One with the shit is hilarious.
That's ironically one of the few hills, or if not the only hill on that map that really didn't have a problem.
Mhm.
God damn it, dude.
Yeah, but yo, I'm hearing that there were some weapon changes. Were there weapon changes that happened? Some people were saying
Nothing of note.
Nothing notable.
Nothing
The striker,
notable,
the subs received an overall hip fire buff. Every sub, the striker received another buff. I think it's
Yeah.
like ADS speed,
ADS and sprint out time buffs.
sprint out time.
Okay.
And then the MTZ got nerfed, but it's G8 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
All it
and those
did
are
was
the
get
only,
I
Those
don't
are
know
the only
why I
weapon
thought
changes.
somebody told me the rival got buffed, but I don't know. If
No,
that
the
was
rival is
true.
untouched, other than
Okay.
the hip fire buff, which is all subs.
Hipfire.
Okay, sounds good. Any other further comments on map, spawns, or guns from anybody over here?
Snaking Nerf.
Oh, the snaky
Yeah.
nerf. I mean, but the snake and nerf,
That's not that bad. I mean, it's a nerf.
it's
It is.
like at least they're looking at trying to do something, which is a positive, right? Listen, Sledgehammer has been a positive.
They've been
so far.
fantastic.
In terms of just
Yeah,
like
they've been
interacting with the
fantastic.
community, talking to the players, making updates, making changes. They've been great. Like in terms
Well,
of
I'll
actually
s-
trying to get things better.
I'll
Go
speak
ahead,
to
Ben.
this one. This is, I was on a creator call on Monday, and I asked them actually about this nerf on the call, and they basically said, yeah, I mean, we can control the value on like the prone to sprint time and like the other side of it too, and it's sort of a V1, and we're gonna see how it plays in rank play when that goes live, and in just general matches and watching CDL. And if they need to tweak it, they can kind of just change the values and go for it. So they've given themselves now the ability to tweak it, and obviously, they know that it's not a movement. People that watch this podcast do it, but your average Joe Schmo in pubs doesn't. So they want to be cognizant of it. I'm glad they were at least transparent about that process, because in past years when we've had staking issues, radio silence from the devs. So I'm glad at least this year Sledge is
Wait,
talking
the
about it.
the nerf is good. After like
Yeah,
two
no, the nerf
pumps,
is very good. The nerf is
after,
very good.
after 2 pumps, you basically start it won't let you get up. Like it's the slowest animation possible. So
I
it's
like that we
it's
call it
actually a
2
really good
pumps,
nerf.
bro.
2 pumps.
Yeah,
Two
the 2
pumps,
pumps is
bro.
crazy. I mean, bro, people and
2
then
pump jump.
I was talking to some pros. I don't know who were saying, but they're like, people are still like pop-up glitching and this and that. I was like, no, I don't want to hear it, because every time I said it's the same thing, everybody's like, it's not the same thing. Pop glitch
It's
is
the
not
same
the same.
thing.
Yada yada yada. Listen, I said it was the same thing from day one, and apparently it's not, or apparently it wasn't the same thing when we were.
Yeah, but
talking
pop-up
about
glitching is like also kind of unavoidable.
it. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, because if
the
I'm
spamming,
reloading,
you
I'm not
can.
going to let you run at me because I'm laying down, and I'm not going to get like
But,
that. Yeah,
which leads to my next point. It's like if any player's saying that, it's like, guys, like,
yeah.
it's a dev problem. Like
Up, laid down, I'm fucked.
Yeah, like you can't. Like we're not GAing crouching and laying down.
Yeah.
Like we're not. We're not gonna do that. So it's like, yeah, the pop-up glitches and the 2 pumps, like people are still gonna be doing them. But I'm glad to see some changes being made. And so far, it looks like from the GA commish, snaking has been pretty good from
No
what I've
funds
heard.
it.
I've been talking to Crowder, I've been talking to some of the FaZe guys, and I was talking to the Optic guys yesterday, like AG and them. They all said that there's been some culprits here or there doing maybe 1 extra pump. We don't like 1 extra pump, 2 pumps only.
The penalty flag's coming out, yellow flag.
But apparently the game has played out a lot better, and people have been a lot more honorable.
Weird how
So
that works.
Hopefully it stays. I mean, Sam, I guess my only concern now is hopefully it stays when we go to the events and things are actually
like in
on
the matches
line.
and stuff.
Like in the actual matches, like on land, on stage, heat of the moment. Like I wonder if people are actually gonna stay true to that GA. And we'll see. Because if they don't stay true to my GA, then it's going to bring me right back to day one where I said we did it in IW. We kept going. Somebody broke it. It didn't work. And now we are where we are.
Let's
now.
hope for let's hope for Boston again. We just talked about it. Like it seems like the snaking fix is solid. So hopefully we get that patch played at Boston, so we don't necessarily have this much of an issue.
I guarantee when we get that new patch, people are still gonna complain whenever they get that like 2 pump snake where like they go down and immediately come up right after like taking damage. I complain about it already in challengers when somebody does it to me, and it's just annoying. But I don't think it's ever going to be unavoidable. Where the fact that like that's going to be completely get rid of, because what causes the snaking animation is proning and then sprinting out of that prone before you hit the ground. It's like there's like a timing window for it, and the only way to avoid that. It's not possible, but it's the basically GA sprinting out of your prone and making it so people
single tap.
basically making it so people have to
already GA.
re-hit prone multiple times in order to get up, which is not possible because the animation is basically suicide.
Well,
so.
listen, to be honest with you, if anybody's snaking, we'll be throwing out yellow cards, red cards. We're going to be throwing out all kinds of cards.
I think I had a good tweet the other day where I tweeted like us at a watch party. And it's a picture of like the FIFA
VAR.
World Cup VAR room is like going to be
like we'll be watching, and we'll definitely be holding people accountable, whether it's FaZe people or not, bro. We'll be holding everybody accountable. It doesn't matter who you are. We want to see the GA be honorable. You know what I mean?
We might have to set a watch party committee with us in the Scump watch party. We talk to each other and make an official ruling.
Yeah,
whether or not that was a snake or
but
not.
the thing is, it's like even if somebody snakes and we flame them, it's just like at the end of the day, man, like it's a GA, right? It's not like an actual CDL rule.
Yeah.
So like if it happens in a crucial moment, it happened last year. I always like to use the example of stair glitching because that was GA'd. Sam, unfortunately, you were on the other side of this, but Clay literally stared glass against you guys, popped a 3-piece, and they came back and won the game. And after the fact, it was, oh, we thought you did it, or oh, it was an accident, or yada yada yada, right? And it just caused some problems. So like, I just hope that doesn't happen, man. And if it does happen, I hope the devs, well, the devs are doing something about it, but it just goes to show that some of this stuff might just need to be fixed by the devs, or it might cause some problems, bro. But shout out to the pros, because they've all been honorable so far. We've gotten pretty far, and the game has been a lot more enjoyable to watch. So we will be throwing out cards, we will be keeping people accountable, and we will be watching. So no snakes, because the flank will be watching at all times. But anything else? I think that was everything between the season 1 update, the guns, right, the maps.
I mean, I just
I'm missing
want
something.
to give my flowers to Sledge one more time. They have been unbelievable as a Call of Duty developer, man. We've had more patches already in like a month of this game being out than we've got from, I'm not going to name any names, but the other dev in the entire year cycle. Not only just for the game's livelihood, but competitively. I mean, they patched snaking, which is like something that has very rarely happened in Call of Duty. So huge props to Sledgehammer for that.
The change from Vanguard till now and the evolution of Sledgehammer as a developer has been a W, because I still remember going back to Sledgehammer, having that bomb glitch in the game pretty much all through the Christmas break and having 0 updates and radio silence for pretty much a long time right before I retired. It's just a complete 180 from what we have now. So, thank you, Sledgehammer.
Let's move on. So we actually got some team intros that were released today. Now, I don't know if these are intros to them walking on stage, or if this is just...
I think these are.
They are.
I think these are their intros, yeah.
Okay, so we got some intros coming
but
in.
as you know, these teams can have alternate cuts their intros, and like,
This is
might
a very
see different
political
versions.
process. I learned filming our LAT one last year.
Yeah,
There's some stuff that people really don't approve.
Well, I'll give you guys, I'll take it even further. The issue is you film these intros, and then not only does your legal team, your team's legal team have to approve it, Activision's legal team's got to approve it. And, sometimes they have
That's
notes,
where the problem lies.
And sometimes the notes are hilarious. That's all I'll say.
Yes,
Yeah,
we tried to fly a van into Vegas for champs, and they didn't like that.
We have 6 intros here: LA Thieves, Atlanta FaZe, New York Subliners, Seattle Surge, Boston, and Optic Texas. Those are the 6 intros that I have. Unless we're missing any other intro, this is what I have so far. I say we go through them, we watch all the intros, and we give our
Then we do a
thoughts.
tier list.
We do a tier list of the intros.
Oh, jeez.
But no, I'm down to just kind of rate them as we go, and just
We can't do a tier list. I don't think we've ever done a tier list episode on Pat, so I don't know.
All right, well, let's tune in. First one is going to be the Los Angeles Thieves, 50 seconds. Let's see what they got.
So much history in one place.
It's time to make our mark.
George Lopez, iconic.
Dan, wake up. Dan, wake up, Dan. Get your goofy ass up.
We're about to play.
And that's going to do it for the LA Thieves. What are you guys' thoughts?
How did they get the rights? That's like a pretty famous song, and like they played it for more than at least 5 seconds. I'm actually.
Yeah,
surprised
You don't
they got the
trust
rights
Nate
to
Shot to get the job done,
that.
Ben?
They must have paid a pony for the rights. I respect
There's
it.
no way that's the real intro.
I think
You
it
don't
That's
think
is.
so?
true. It could be a troll. No, knowing them, it could definitely be a troll. Hundo P.
But also knowing them, it could 100% not be a troll.
You just never really know. I mean, bro, if you guys have seen, we're gonna play one of the intros on this that was reacted to by LA Thieves yesterday. LA
That's
Thieves
good.
made a parody version that, it was funny, but I definitely think.
We turned
Josh
Shane
might-
into a dog to win champs, and then got last. But that's besides the point.
Ben is being federal about the song. I wonder. I don't
It's
know
still a
about the
dog.
song. I actually
How
don't
am, I
know.
being, how am I being federal? How's that federal?
No, it's just a little. It's a little
Nah,
federal.
Chad doesn't like me talking ever. Like, I'll just say nothing during this.
He's crybaby cheese.
Christ.
He's crybaby.
Like,
Stop
call me a
crybaby cheese.
At least you're gonna call me. At least you're gonna call me a fed. Use a term.
Ah, we're fed a
correctly.
crybaby
Say
cheese.
At least you're gonna call me a
relax.
fed. At least use a term correctly.
Come on,
Crybaby
bro.
cheese.
Come on, man.
Roll the next one.
Let's
That's
roll
S
the
tier.
You think that's S tier?
Nah, that's hilarious.
I'll
It-
give
I
it.
hope it's their intro just because,
I think it's
bro. That's
controlling to be
hilarious.
S tier, but it's pretty funny.
S tier,
Bro,
next.
like-
Why is Sam
bias.
acting like he doesn't know?
No bias. I
Guys,
actually don't
literally
know.
all-
Nah,
there's
Sam-
No, I swear to
way.
God, I don't know. I
Nah,
actually don't know.
Sammy knowing, bro.
I actually don't know.
Now we have
I mean-
Atlanta FaZe. Let's tune in.
100 right. Oh shit.
I have a plan.
Crazy with the rage, dangerous and rage. Captain, never been afraid. Deadly with the aim. I ain't wanna take light. Look into my eyes. I'm a killer inside, coming for the prize. Do you really want these problems? I put you in that coffin. But I'm never Josh, so you quit this ain't to stop it. Hungry for the beef, leave you obsolete. See my lines deep, see me in the streets if you want the heat. Yeah.
And that's gonna do it for Atlanta FaZe.
I think the best part of that intro was Bryce saying Octane finds 2 at the end.
Now, I'm gonna be honest, not a fan.
Tomatoes. Get your tomatoes out, chat.
Not the biggest fan. Not
Get your
the biggest
tomatoes
fan,
out.
to be honest
Bro,
with you.
I get. Can I speak on this real quick? And I don't want to throw people on the bus, but like, I just, bro, ATL's content. We gotta have a conversation. But this intro's not bad, but it's just like it should be
It's not
better.
carrying
bad.
on
It's not
their,
good.
their
It's just
precedent of
like, it's
terrible
just like,
intros.
yeah,
Should be
you know what I
better.
mean? It could be a lot better, in my opinion. Though I think it could be a lot better.
Like at least like Draw's acting. Listen, gotta give Draw some fucking acting lessons at the beginning of the video.
Yeah,
It's
nah,
also-
it's bro.
No,
like,
they,
that line
not my
delivery
boy
is
how did they
Draws.
film that? And they were like, yeah, that's gonna work. Like, if anything, you gotta be like, yo, you gotta give more energy or something, or just scrap it and come up with another idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. Personally, I think they
don't
could have
know,
done a lot of other cool things, and it could have been
That's
a lot more cooler.
That's a
But
tomato angle.
it was a tomato angle. With
That's a
tomatoes
tomato
going.
angle.
And then we have the New York subliners. New York's always doing some interesting things with their intros. Let's see how New York decide to go with this one. Let's take a look. I don't know, like Dante on a moped. is
I on a
funny, man.
moped, bro.
Okay, I got a couple thoughts on this.
Okay,
Might be.
okay.
Couple
Before you
thoughts.
go, I like it. I liked it a lot personally.
I
Ben,
like
I
it,
know
but
you're not.
I like it, but first
go
off,
ahead.
cinematography great. The drone stuff, like I really like the editing. First off, they clearly shot part of this in Texas and not New York. I'm calling them out for that because there's a couple of shots. I'm like, I don't know if it's New York City. Second thing is, the music's kind of
Tomatoes.
odd. Do you guys agree?
I love the
music's
music.
kinda-
I love
but
the
it
music.
doesn't. Again, you got to imagine this video playing out when you walk on stage. Like, is it going to hit in the vibe where that crowd's gonna get to the apex moment and the guys walk out and it feels good? I don't know about that.
Those
I think
intros
it's
fucking
funny.
suck anyway on stage, bro. Those intros are not getting anybody hype.
I
Let's
don't
be
mind
honest.
it.
That's my issue with the intros in fucking
The
general.
intros
but
suck in
Yeah,
general,
I-
but I
for another
love the
day.
effort that we're seeing this year because
Agreed,
they have
bro.
sucked more in the past.
Agreed.
I mean,
bro.
No.
Tom, you were just showing a shot there. There's white license plates. Those are Texas license plates. It's all
Ah,
good now.
Jesus.
Ah,
Christ.
Jesus. Federal,
We're talking-
man. This
Ben
guy's
is fucking
federal, bro.
legit,
This guy's
dude.
a
I lived in
fed.
Texas. I know what the license plates look like, man. You
Can
can't
they
fool me.
spam fed now?
Were
Ben?
you
Are they
killing
allowed
with
to
the
spam
blue
fed now?
ethernets,
bro.
Ben?
Can't
You're
fool
talking
me.
about license plate? Shut the.
Nah,
God damn it, Ben.
I agree. Like, these videos are good, but bro, these are not giving me like, yo, the boys are about to come out on
Nothing hype.
stage. Like, there's
Yeah.
no hype. There's no
Bass
energy.
rattling,
There's no
the venue's about to
like.
get
Yeah,
loud,
but bro,
like-
all the cringe hype shit's been done, and nobody liked that either. I like the
What?
creativity.
Wait,
this
who's
is-
done
but
the
this is-
cringe
but this-
hype shit?
Bro, what's like a hype video? Like fucking phases shit. Like that got people
Bro,
hype,
they
quote
were
unquote.
on
Gave you like a
Rolls
cringe,
Royce.
gave you like a
Outside of
cringe
fucking
rap
Rolls
song.
fake
Bro,
fucking
Minnesota
cash.
Rocker had a whole ass production
That
last
was
year that no one
not
gave a
it,
shit
bro.
about.
Like that one was ass.
Bro, I'm
but
saying my
what-
point is like the intros are irrelevant, bro. Let's
Okay,
be
so
honest
They
with
intros
are
ourselves.
relevant, but
The intros have two purposes. One is obviously if you ever watch these intros, you see sponsors at the end of it. So they sell sponsors
Sure.
in the intro. Second thing is like I do think you want to make an intro that when your team is walking out there on winners finals on Saturday and they're ready to play that first map, that they're getting support and energy from their fans and other people in the crowd. You're giving
Sure.
them maybe a little bit extra, 5%, 10%. I don't know. You can't fucking quantify it, but it might help them win that fucking map for all I know. And this
I
isn't
think
gonna do it.
I think that some of the intros that do the hype stuff well are like, for example,
Toronto did
Ultras.
well. Toronto did well.
Ultras.
Chat checked me on that one.
I think-
Toronto did well.
Toronto's
I
always,
think-
shit is always good.
I think optics aren't bad. Like they actually do the hype stuff well, and then there's some organizations that do a little bit too much.
But
They
I
kind of
love that,
cringe.
bro. Like
They do a
the
little too
New
much.
York's last year was by far
Wait,
and away the best
wait,
intro of all
But
time.
that's why I think
That was
listen,
that was one of
if
the best
you are a
intros.
CDL, I'm gonna keep saying this. If you're a CDL franchise, bro, they should shoot more than one intro. They should have more than one cut. We watch them play 40 fucking times a year. I'm tired of just seeing one intro. Reshoot it in the middle of
That's
the year.
good.
I know Rocker tried it, but I don't think the concept really executed well because it was just too like they were trying a little bit too hard. But I think you can kind of mix it up and have different versions, shorter
I
versions
agree.
for online matches,
Agreed.
longer versions for LAN.
Agree.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We got the Seattle Surge. Let's tune in.
When are we dropping? We are ready. Cannot wait to start.
Let's begin.
Yes.
Tom, this is the wrong video.
What is it?
Shut up. No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
Don't play that video.
Yeah.
Yo, this one was kind of fire.
Wait, can
Yes.
you
This one was
Incredible.
sick. This one was
rewind
sick.
this?
Incredible.
The best part is they rewind it to when Tyler's like on the beach and attack shit. Like they actually make Tyler look so fucking hard in this video. I thought
Huh?
that
What are you talking about?
Who's-
The beach?
Was it-
Like this?
yeah, when he's is it a scuba thing? Yeah.
Wait, who?
When they-
Tyler?
No, Kyler. When
Oh,
when he's walking the beach.
Kyler.
You were
Kyler.
saying Tyler for sure.
Yeah, that's my bad. I meant Kyler.
Like, what are you talking about?
Fire,
man?
though.
Like,
Yeah.
Loved it.
I love
oh,
it.
man,
with
what
the
the
first-
Absolutely
fuck
loved
are
it.
you talking about? What's this guy doing? Listen, bro, this shit was fire.
Loved
I
it.
loved it.
Bro, that's
bro,
it.
that
That
was
is the
giving me
perfect-
like that was giving
Loved
me
it.
like hype. Like, get
Exactly.
we're
That's
ready
great.
for this shit. We're
Sure.
ready. Like, we're
They did
ready
it
to
well.
go.
That is perfectly not cringe.
That was
Like
great.
it's amazing. Like the way Abuza comes in when they're
music
announcing
was
the first
fire,
player.
bro.
Like
Nah, the
that
music, the
is
track-
fire,
There's
bro.
good references in it. If you look
Good
at the end
shit.
of the alley clip, he's flipping off and they have it censored.
Yeah, when he
you
was
know?
flipping off.
That's
Yeah,
a
flipping
good.
it off.
That's a good deep cut reference if you're a CDL fan. Like I respect it.
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
that was fire. That was fire. I even like here when Kyler was like closing the lockers and shit.
Yeah.
This was a fire shot too. Like this was fire.
Tyler have a
bro.
ponytail, by the way. Am I tweaking?
In this
Kyler?
video, I
Yep.
think he did.
He's
Yeah.
got the
Does he have a
man bun?
ponytail? He got a little WWE going. I like
Does
that.
he?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
a
know,
new, this a
but-
new age Kyler, bro.
It was fire, bro. Fire video. Shout out to Seattle Surge. Probably my favorite one so far out of all of them. I think this is my favorite.
Nah, that one's good. That one's very, very good.
Let's tune in.
Shout out
We got
Seattle.
the Boston Breach. Okay.
I've seen all I needed to see. It's an immediate no.
Immediate
Here-
no.
here-
Kind of
here-
reminds
here's
me of
the pro-
Atlanta Face. It's just
Here's,
like
here's the problem with this one.
okay.
There won last year with like the mass and like the heist gimmick was so good, and I felt like they should have iterated on this one. This one just feels like not doing that, and that's why I think it's a tomato. To be honest,
Bro, I'm not gonna
This is how
lie.
you do a hype one badly.
What is it with the dark rooms and the random TVs and like the bombs and like I don't know. I just feel like they're all like
Nah.
the same. Go
They
ahead,
gotta
Chris.
do. They got these organizations got to do way more to encompass their like organization, their brand, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think they need to do less encompassing this like the city outside of I guess Optic Texas would be a little bit of a weird one, but like for example, FaZe. You guys were talking about how that one you're not a big fan of that one, Tom. Like, bro, everyone knows fucking FaZe. Have them pull out like fucking makeshift fucking what are they called sniper rifles and like do some like cool like tactical stuff like that.
you can't have guns in a video.
Oh,
I have
well,
a
that's
story.
not
Do
good.
I have
That's
a $100,000
unfortunate.
story for you guys?
Yeah, no, we've
You
heard the
can't-
story.
you
We've
can't
seen
have-
it.
you can't
instantly.
have guns.
Yeah,
in
the
Boy,
intro-
do I have a
listen,
story for you guys.
Listen. Inside, you notice that Seattle's got like crossbars and like that is fine. But if the minute you put an airsoft gun in someone's hand,
Oh, but the bomb's
That's gonna
okay.
be
Like
good.
the bomb and the explosion. Okay.
yeah, because it's. I mean, listen, Activision legal, bro. I don't. Tell
Okay,
You.
well,
Boy,
just
do I
scratch
have
that,
a
but-
$100,000 story for you guys.
Now you
Well, let's
gotta
hear
tell
it.
it. I mean, you already told it, but you can tell it again. I
So
remember the story.
we filmed on Seattle when I first joined in Modern Warfare. We flew out to Vancouver. We got like one of the directors from The Walking Dead to like literally make one of those, right? We strapped a bomb to Joey Nubsy's chest. I was sniping in it. Damon, App, and Jerry had like M16s and shit.
That's so
I was there
far.
for 12 hours, bro. It was raining. It was cold. 12-hour shoot. It was fucking awesome. It was actually fantastic. But they didn't clear it with any of the legal. They didn't ask anybody. They just did it. So they sent the video to Activision after telling us that they spent $100,000 on it, and they were like, "Yo, you can't have the players holding guns. Sorry," and chalked it.
That's
I'm
insane.
surprised they never posted on YouTube, bro. They should have
They
posted
should
on
have
YouTube.
at least
like,
posted it somewhere. Maybe they weren't allowed. Maybe, bro. There is no way that video is completely wiped. That video has to be somewhere.
No, we tried to find it recently, actually, Tom, and the only place that we found it is like an upload, like how you just like push on the internet.
Yeah.
The link like expired and it's just gone. Nobody has it.
What the
No,
fuck?
someone's got to have it.
Someone's
bro.
got to have it.
It's
But,
gotta
like,
be
Guns
dude,
are
I
allowed.
was sniping. Joey Nubsy had blonde hair, bomb on his chest. It was great, bro.
Okay, well, what if they didn't do like actual players holding guns and they did like in-game characters with like phase like type skins? Like I don't know.
It depends. I think not only is the gun holding thing an issue, I assume there's a gun licensing issue depending on the version of it. Again, Activision Legal's got like some crazy.
Bro, I was
guidelines on
getting,
this.
bro. They
So
had
a lot of your ideas are not going to work.
wait,
Not gonna clear.
they even brought in like a Navy SEAL to like the ones that train like actors how to properly hold gun. I'm not trolling, bro.
Bro,
There
they
was
were
a
getting-
literal
you're trying to
Navy
get technical,
SEAL.
I like it.
He was showing me shit. He was like, "This is how you hold a gun to make it look realistic." Because people are gonna be watching this like you don't know what you're doing. So I'm gonna show you how to hold this M16. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm in a
Don't put your
warehouse in
finger a
Vancouver.
trigger, like on the side.
Yes,
like,
bro. He's like, you gotta hold your hand here. It's unauthentic if you don't. I'm like, bro, this is for a fucking Call of Duty intro. What's going on right now?
Yeah,
Hey,
nah.
Anyway,
But
10. There you
These
go.
intros, man. Let's go. We got one more left for you guys. Obviously, the
Anyway,
other
there you
teams that have other intros, but this is just all we have so far. This is what the teams that have leaked or announced their intros. So let's take a look. This is Optic Texas.
Look, I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique.
And that's going to do it for Optic Texas.
Fucking
It-
short to this point,
It
baby.
was short. It was short to
30,
the point.
30 seconds
Yeah.
is fine.
I
30
liked it
seconds
though.
is
It
fine.
was good. It was a
No,
pretty.
it was
pretty
great.
good.
It's bro, the way they did it, they had storylines in the background, shit coming into the season. They built it up. What everyone's been talking about. Short. Here's my fucking players.
Yeah,
we're done.
yeah.
Loved it.
So first thing, if you're
Absolutely
ever bored,
loved it.
because me and my streamer were doing it, you go read the text on some of those. It's really funny. They definitely chat GPT'd some of it, but I like it. They're going for the angle of, we built this team. It's got a lot of talent, but there's a lot of controversy, and we're here to prove them wrong. And they hit you with that. Bing, bam, boom, 30 seconds. Hype. I love it.
It
I
was
think
good.
it's probably the
Great
best.
job.
hype
Yeah,
video
it's a
Optic's
good
done.
it's a good intro.
Even the way it was edited and cut, like you could tell it was just like well made. Even it was short, but it was well made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was all the intros there. Let's go to matches tomorrow and take a look what's going on. Let's give our predictions real quick. First,
Wait, are we
things
keeping track of like
first.
the year? Like, are we could throw some on this?
Breaking Point, right? Is gonna
So-
keep
so-
track
Okay.
for us.
I gotta see. Usually, Breaking Point hits us up, Sam, and they
Okay.
track it all by major. But like, we can.
I'm trying to
Uh,
shave your
we-
head, Ben.
No,
That's where I'm going with
So
this.
here's the deal. I have said
Eyebrows?
that I will do a shave
Beard?
head bet this year, but Pat has to do it with me.
He's not
If
gonna,
I'm gonna
do
agree-
it with you, bro.
And I'm not doing it. If I'm going to agree to shave my head, which I'm down, Pat has to be in on the bet with me. If I end up shaving my head, he's got to shave it too. That's my rule.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I
someone
can,
else
I can
may get a
coerce
shave
Pat
bet.
into that.
Good luck with that, bro.
I
If
think
you
I can do
coerce
that.
someone, good luck.
I think I could do that.
All right, well, let's go through them. We start things off with Atlanta FaZe going up against the Boston Breeze. That's going to be our first match of the season. I'm going to go with Atlanta FaZe on this one. I'll probably go 3-1 Atlanta FaZe. I just think Atlanta's just been looking so good in scrims. Just looking at their scrim record, seeing some of the VODs, even just hearing some of the other pros talking about it, seems like Atlanta FaZe is just a really tough team to beat right now. So I'm going to go with FaZe over Boston. What do you guys think? Chris, we'll start with you. We'll go down the list.
Everyone's pointing to FaZe being quote unquote the best team right now in practice. Short and simple, FaZe win this. Here we go.
Ben?
So recently, the past ATL teams, their record in their first match of the season, either in a real one or kickoff class, is actually like not particularly good. They've lost their last 4, going back to their first ever match they played and won in Modern Warfare 2019. So history is not great, but I do think they are a better team than Boston. I can see this one being a little bit close. I'm actually going to say it's going to go to a game 5, but I think FaZe will clutch up.
Game 5. Interesting.
I'm going to go 3-1 FaZe. I think Boston has trended downward since the beginning of the season from where we last talked about them. And I think FaZe has done the opposite. So I'm going to take FaZe 3-1.
All right, then we got LA Thieves going up against Seattle Surge. Now, this one's hard for me. I'm not really too sure where to lean for this one. Personally, after what I've seen so far, I'm going to go with Seattle in this one. I feel like Seattle is kind of going to be the dark horse this year. I feel like a lot of people are writing them off. Not everybody, but I feel like some people were definitely writing them off or had a lot of negative things to say about Seattle. But so far, so good. I think Illy's been looking really good in the kickoff tournaments. Hook's been looking really good in the BPLs. That guy's been all over the place. I just feel like maybe this team will have that chemistry where they'll just be able to take over and get that W. So I'm going to go with Seattle on this one. I'll say 3-2. I can see this one going all the way down to the wire, to be honest with you. I can see this going to a last map, S&D, and Seattle close it with all that S&D practice they've been doing. I can see them closing it out. Chris, who do you got?
I've heard recently from a couple people that Hook looks like a top 3 sub in this game with how he performs. You got to say that speaks for something about the Seattle roster on top of their S&D performances and tournaments and stuff like that, and just the players on that team. I think this goes map 5 if they can win a respawn. However, I'm going to say LAT will clutch it out simply because I think they are my dark horse this year. I'm a big fan of Dan. I think he's been looking good in this game, but I think Seattle will actually push the limits here for the first banger series of the CDL this year.
Ben?
Well, Chris's bias aside, I do think it's also going to go game 5, but I got Seattle.
Okay.
We know Chris is going to be standing Dan this year, so I'm not that surprised on that pick.
Go ahead.
I'm going to echo Dan Ghosty Glaze. No bias, of course, here. I'm going to take to the shock of everybody, the Los Angeles Thieves to win this one 3-2.
Let's go, Sam, up top.
No, I actually do think this is going to be a phenomenal series, though. These are 2 teams that could easily be top 5, top 6 teams right now, for sure.
It should be a good, because the connection early in the season, people tell, like, should with Seattle playing for Vancouver and LA shouldn't be.
Would you guys
as
say
bad as
that
some of the,
really fast, Ben? Would you say that Seattle's at least a B tier team?
Listen, I think if Seattle's schedule in particular, I think they got to come out hot early, or it's
I remember when someone said that on the show and got flamed.
Really good.
And then
flame by who? Flame by who? Call them out.
Everybody, the whole chat.
Not everybody.
The whole chat. I said Seattle's looking good. They throw them a B.
Chat always be flaming. Listen, it's someone that gets lens spam a lot in the chat.
All good. I got receipts.
But,
I got Draza style receipts. All good.
Let's move on. We got Optic Texas going up against New York, which me personally, I'm really excited for this one. We got the world champs going up against Optic. Like, this is just going to be an absolute banger. Yesterday, somebody asked me who do I think is going to win, and I was leaning towards New York. I think I ended up saying New York, but after thinking about it, I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going to happen here. I feel like New York, from what I've heard, okay, not going to say who, I've heard they've been a little shaky to start things off in practice. I heard practices have been a little shaky for them. That could be not true, just from my source, who I've heard, which was a player that has played against them. I heard that they're still trying to figure some things out. I also think maybe the P-Dog change is going to switch up the chemistry a little bit with them. Like, I just don't know if they're going to mesh as well together. Initially, it might take them some time. I think you always learn the most when you get that first LAN match out the way. It's when you really start to learn. You learn really fast when you play on stage, or when you play like a match that matters, I shall say. Not on stage, but online, a match that matters. I'm actually going to go with Optic Texas. Yesterday, I was talking about New York. I think I ended up saying New York, but today, I'm changing my mind. I'm going with Optic Texas in this one. I think Optic's going to come out. I've seen some things. I've been watching some VOD. Optic's been getting a lot better since the game first dropped. I know they got like a late start to things. I know some teams started earlier than others, but based on what I've seen behind the scenes and looking at scrims, records, VODs, and from what I've heard from other players, I mean, that's really the only thing we can go off of, right, at this time, since we haven't seen these guys play anything competitive yet. I'm going to go with Optic Texas. I'll go Optic Texas 3-2. I can see this one going to a last map as well, and Optic closing it out. I think this is going to be a battle. Chris, who do you got?
I got Optic, just from looking at stuff on Twitter and leaks and stuff like that, and even some of the CDL scrim intel or whatever their Twitter is, posting some scrims against AM teams. New York haven't looked the best, or what I think they should peak at. While Optic I haven't really seen too much of lately, but I'm just going to assume that they are probably going to be looking better going into this first match. So I got Optic. I'd say maybe 3-1.
Okay, Ben, who do you got?
I've kind of heard the same about New York. I do think that I've also heard that Optic's been playing a lot better as of late. I do think that both these teams have some interesting role things to figure out, especially in respawn. So I don't know if right away before New Year's they're going to be in their 100% form. There's a Texas on Texas match, so no internet issues. I got Optic taking this 3-1. But
Okay.
I won't be surprised if Optic loses, to say that. The key thing with all these predictions is, like, we have seen historically in past first 2 match days in past years, there's a lot of upsets, and it's hard to know, and teams don't even know in a real match what their best map's at. So some of these can get kind of funky, but I think Optic's going to clutch up.
All right, Sam, who do you got?
Yeah. Optic 3-1 for all the reasons you guys said. I'm going last, so I don't gotta say it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's just based off like what I've seen and what I've heard. You know, especially I haven't heard like the best things about New York recently.
I think Tom said it best. You learn way quicker when you're playing high stakes matches. Pretty much every time, even when you go to a LAN, you just come back a better team. Not only from the experience, but watching other teams play and what they do. It all just gets ingrained in your head. So although some of these teams might start off hot now, we'll see how the rest of the season develops
I
as we
see
go on.
people talking about it in the chat, but we do got a Pred versus Sib, little rivalry there. Obviously, former teammates on the Seattle Surge, and they both find themselves on 2 different rosters, 2 very big name rosters. So both of them lucking out with their teams, but it should be fun to just watch them battle it out tomorrow. Watch some 2.
Early season's kind of crazy because anything can happen. Like you look at a slate of matches and there's no like Vegas LAGs. You're just like fucking game 5. I don't know who wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's lit.
But Ben, why don't you sing us out, Ben? You want to hit a little puff for us as we head out?
Yeah, I can do that.
We got a lot of channel point predictions coming in right now. We got most people are saying you're sinking it today, Ben, unless that changes anytime soon.
I've not hit a single putt on this putter mat today, so I'm probably not making it.
That's not good. If you guys voted yes, you might want to do something about it. It might be too late, honestly. It might be way too late for you guys. Might be chalked up.
Mate,
I see that. What's that wine bottle? How full is that wine bottle?
All right, let's see.
All right, that's a miss. Chat, he misses. Chat, he misses here. Ben's off the wine lately.
He's drinking the wazoo.
Ben's off the wine lately. This is a miss.
Is he drinking the wazoo here? Well,
I think I could see that, Tom. That looks like a little bit of there's some air in there. That's a miss. I can see it.
I can't even fucking see. I can't even. Oh, there we go. I
see
gotta
it,
move
Tom.
it over. I gotta move
It's a
it
miss.
over a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ben J. Nassim stepping up to the plate. Did he get new slippers? Oh, he's got some new slippers on.
Oh shit, Ben's got drip.
He's got some drip. He's gonna step up to the plate. He sinks the ball nice, and he moved the ball up a little bit. Did he not?
He did move
He
it.
does,
Nah,
he
moved
does
the ball
that
up.
shit,
He moved the
bro.
ball up, bro. He
it's
cheated.
7-foot putt.
Man, you moved
I think we
the
gotta
ball.
redo.
The ball is
7-foot putt. You
moved
act like it's a
up,
tiny
bro.
Ben, I think
You act like
Ben,
it's
I
a
think you got a
tiny
reputt.
It's a
I think
7-foot putt.
Ben, Tom threw the challenge flag. That's a reputt. 15-yard penalty.
How is it, bro?
Repeat first down.
Don't argue
Full
with the
play.
GA commissioner, please. Do not argue with the GA.
Ben, New York's gonna
Are you-
find you. It's a flag on
are
the
you
play.
making-
I don't know
are
how to
you-
tell you this. You
Are
got to
making
putt
me-
again.
Are you
It's
actually
over.
making me putt it?
No,
No.
you're good, bro.
Okay.
You're chilling, bro. You're chilling.
Bro,
But,
listen, it's a 7-foot putt. I'm gonna know it's a golf. 7-foot putts are not gimmies, bro.
but listen, guys, I hope
And
you
it
guys
is-
The
Oh,
chat
and
spam. This chat spam and reputt, dude.
Well, too
We're
bad
not
you
doing
lost-
this.
too bad you
Respins.
lost
We're
your
not
Ben,
doing
chance.
no
respin.
I don't care.
respins.
Ben,
No
respin.
Respin fucking cheese. No
Ben,
respin
if I
cheese.
give Tom 25 gifted, could you reputt?
Nah, this is what happened last time. I got a lot of negativity from this. We're not going down this line. We're not going down this road, bro.
Yeah,
But
no,
yo,
chalk it
guys,
up, bro.
real quick, just a quick reminder for you. Tomorrow on a watch party, we will be live on both Twitch and YouTube. All right, so make sure to go to twitch.tv/ZooMaa and also youtube.com/@ZooMaaLive. That's where I'm gonna be during the watch party. I'll be on both platforms. We'll be over there, and then when the games are over, I'll be doing the show on Twitch. We'll all be here on Twitch doing the show like normal. And then of course we'll upload the show to the main channel on the main ZooMaa channel. So I know it's a little bit of change, but we'll get used to it as the season goes on. We'll get used to it. So expect me on both platforms. Make sure you guys are following both platforms. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, go to anchor.fm/theflank. Then check out all the audio sites that we're on. Go follow @theflank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job of running socials per usual. And as always, man, take care, bro. Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time on
CDL
another
starts
episode of The Flank, man.
Tomorrow,
We'll
get
see you
it.
guys tomorrow. Let's get it. Peace out, man.
Tomorrow.